Okay. It's time for excuses. The reason I haven't uploaded in a long time was because I have been waiting for a haircut, which obviously never happened. No, the real reason is because my laptop died and I had to go replace that. And so I've had this new tablet for like 2 or 3 weeks. Big ass tablet, bro, 4.6 inches. It's insane. I love it. I completely replaced my laptop with keyboard and mouse, whole shebang. Although I could have done something before my laptop died, or even like when I had this tablet, because like I said, I had it for like 2.5 weeks. So the real reason is because I've been super busy. Like this past month of April has been completely booked. Every single weekend there was an event in my life, whether it be at church or a family type thing, and it's just insane, bro. Nah, I got tons of time. I get out of work at 1:30, and then I typically have like 4 hours to do whatever I want. And then I have to go do my responsibilities at church. But even on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is when I typically record, I have absolutely no responsibilities to uphold. Not even like laundry or anything like that. I do laundry on Mondays. The real reason that I haven't posted in a long time is because I have been sad and stressed about my living situation. My lease ends at the end of this month, and up until last week, I was grasping at straws. So I talked to 3 of my friends who will remain. God, I can't pronounce it. Since November, I've been trying to get ahead of this, so I talked to 3 of my friends who will remain anonymous. Mark, Dylan, Irving. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. That's not the real names. Or is it? Anyways, 2 of my friends backed out pretty quick into the planning phase, leaving only 1 still on board. But then, in mid-April, at the last second, like literally, we toured the place, we put that on a deposit, we were about to sign the lease that very day. He backed out. So for the next 3 weeks, I was panicking. All I knew was that I didn't want to move back into my parents' house, but due to my debt, I couldn't live by myself. Do not go to university for the prerequisites. Save yourself some money, go to college at the very least. It is not worth it. So in all of my spare time, I was looking for housing. And sometime last week, after suppressing my appetite for my lunch break to save money, I was still craving an Arnold Palmer from the cafeteria. My first thought was to not do it because, like I just said, I'm broke, I need to save money so I can live later on. But then God spoke to me and told me to go ahead. You know, I questioned him, like, you really want me to get a tea right now? But, okay. I'll go get a tea, but you and I are going to have a conversation. And he did not dispute me. I went downstairs, I bought my Arnold Palmer, and opened it up, took a first sip. It's really good, man. It's so good. I said, God, you know I can't afford this. I got to save as much money as possible if I move out. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do about this whole situation. I don't want to move back in with my parents. All my friends left me. And I don't think my cousin is going to be able to buy this new house by the time my lease ends. Like, it's going to be a buzzer beater, if that, God. And I can't really rely on that. I don't think I'm going to be able to live on my own, God. And he responded, what about Roberto? I thought about it for a second. And I was like, I don't want to move in with Roberto. I don't really know him. And he kind of cut me off and he was like, you know he wants to move out here. He's mature. And he has good income. God was showing me that Roberto is still there. That unlike my friends, that his words are bond. Unlike my friends, that he is responsible. You know, my eyes began to water as I felt this weight lift off of me. And I responded, I appreciate what you're doing. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to cry here. I said, wiping off my eyes. Thank you for taking this burden off of me, God. And I felt this comforting warmth fall onto me. He and I continued to talk for the remainder of my lunch break about other things, but the point is that he took my yoke and replaced it with his own. Throw up that Bible verse on screen. But since then, I've talked to Roberto about our living situation and we are Gucci. But the devil is a liar because on my application, I'm stuck on this verification ID and it won't go through. What the hell? As to the other reason why I haven't posted anything, it's because I'm sad. There hasn't been a substantial period in my life of singleness since the 5th grade, bro. And by a substantial period, I mean a year. 1 year, bro. I genuinely haven't had a long period of time being single since I was about 10 years old. I'm 23 now, and that is just unreasonable. That is unheard of. Since 10, I have been out here looking for love out of loneliness. Sorry to my friends and my family who thought I'd been single since like 2021. I've lied to y'all. But I'm single now. Let's go! My parents divorced before when I was like 1 year old, and the single mother lifestyle is crazy, man. Like, my mom was never home. She was always out working, trying to provide for my sister and I. And also, my sister just did not want to be home, so she signed up for lots of after-school programs, and I ended up just walking home alone after school since like the 3rd grade. As a result of my upbringing, my love languages developed as physical touch and quality time, like the two things that I liked most as a child. And the quickest way to seemingly achieve both of these things is sex. Now, I'm not saying that I had sex ever since I was in the 5th grade. Don't get it twisted. I did pursue genuine relationships out there at the very least at that age. I tried to pursue genuine relationships, whatever that means at that age. But getting frisky, doing sexual things in nature, that was all of my relationships. And I have had countless relationships. I'm not joking you. I've had about 23 partners. Now, I'm not saying I had 23 bodies. I've dated 23 people more or less, bro. That is not okay. And some people might be like, out of how many of those 23 girlfriends are like actual girlfriends and not just like a summer fling or so on and so forth? Listen, these people have been rather significant in my life, whether it be very small or very large, because we did sexual things in nature. We had sexual relations, and therefore I had intimacy, and therefore I felt loved. So they're rather significant to me. Obviously, all of these relationships have been fruitless, and it's caused me to believe that God wants me to be alone. Whether that be for a season, whether that be for the rest of my life until the trumpets come, because he's coming. Bro, did y'all see like the potential new Antichrist? Homeboy was addressing like Muslims and Jews and Christians, and he was like, I am the prophet. I am the true successor of Jesus Christ. He was claiming some crazy things, bro. Anyways, I don't know why God wants me to be lonely. I don't know why. I think it's rather messed up. But then again, I'm not God, am I? As much as I don't want to be single, as much as I don't want to be alone, and as much as I may say the opposite, I pray for the Lord's will to be done in my life and not my own will. Even though I grew up in the church, even though I know I'm supposed to do this, I'm not sure if I love God. I'm not sure if I truly trust in my Lord. How do you do that? What does that look like? I may be learning, I may have an idea, but I don't know how. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The other day, I was driving to a boba shop so I can have some boba while I'm at Bible study, because the night before the youth group went and I didn't end up going to get boba, so I really wanted some boba. I promise this is going somewhere. Stay with me. And I was thinking about the scenario where I bump into one of my exes at the boba shop, and I have to resist them because they're just perpetually horny. Like 24/7. I have no idea how they do it. I liked it at the time, don't get me wrong, but I do not know how they actually like function as a human being. In my mind, I thought, as much as I would like to initiate that intimacy, so to speak, I'd have to reject it because my spirit denies quick, easy, and cheap ways to get intimacy. Like, it's not even fulfilling anymore. That association of pleasure equals intimacy was so strong in my head that God had to sever that connection. He literally had to send an angel to come down and protect me, my mind, and my being from all of these spiritual attacks, because I most certainly could not do it on my own. And I thank God that he did that for me because he knew I was weak. It was crazy, bro. Like, that miracle that he did in my life, it was so amazing that I genuinely thought I had erectile dysfunction. So much so to the point where I relapsed out of my own volition because I genuinely thought I had erectile dysfunction, bro. Like, that was the worst mistake I could have made in my life. Because now, as much as that connection is severed, my flesh is still willing to go back to it. And if I just quit cold turkey all those months ago, I knew I would be way closer to the Lord. Because he is trying to show me something. So right as I was about to go inside the barber shop, I had a question come into my head. Can intimacy occur without physical touch? And I knew for sure that wasn't my thoughts, because my worldview is no, it cannot. Because that's not my life. I personally cannot relate to that at all whatsoever. I do think that was God who whispered that into my ear. And it's been something that I've been lamenting to God ever since I've lost my best friend. Or in the process as I'm losing my best friend, because it's happening right now. You see, I'm asking way more from them than they're willing to give to me, because we have some serious past. Imagine with me for a second that a person suddenly comes into your life, you guys hit it off great, you make a move, they respond accordingly, you guys end up being in a relationship for 3 years. And yes, during that time frame, you guys do end up having lots of sex, great sex, amazing sex, all in secrecy, of course, because if the church finds out, then your ministry is done. They take you off of singing up there on stage, and they put you in the back of the church like you're Rosa Parks or something. You guys both realize how toxic this relationship is, so you end it off mutually, and you decide to become best friends, because before this, you guys were friends. Not best friends, but you guys were friends, and during your relationship, you became best friends. You guys started to lean on each other a lot. And in my case, I leaned on them a little bit too much. They pretty much became my only friend. I'm not gonna lie. And now they're claiming that they cannot be a friend to me because the temptation, that lust, is too great for them, and they don't know how to console me otherwise. They don't know how to console me otherwise as I'm struggling with this loneliness, this goddamn perpetual loneliness that I've had my whole life. And I do recognize the parallel here between my ex-best friend and God about, can intimacy occur without physical touch? And I don't know the answer to that. I genuinely cannot see an answer to that. Not yet, anyways. You know, the other day when Samuel posted something and he added me about being refined by the Lord hurts, like, my first reaction was, oh, wow. Like, you know what I'm going through. But he's not wrong. Being refined by the Lord does hurt. And what I believe what I said in my last video was that you should let him. And as hard and as much as I don't want to, I will allow myself to be refined by the Lord. I don't even know where to go from here, man. Don't I have tissues in this car? God, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm way off script. Man, I ran out of script like 10 minutes ago. I love the part where I started off with an analogy and then I couldn't take it anymore, so I just like delved into my personal life, forgetting the analogy altogether. I don't know, man. I hope all that made sense. That's where I've been. That's where I've been at. You know, funnily, last time I was in this predicament at TikTok, where I didn't post in a while. I came back and I was like, I didn't have anything to post. It's true, like the last things I have been posting was like a bunch of lessons. And like one of those videos, like it's not supposed to be there. Or maybe two. I forget that I started doing these things just so I can get my testimony out there of all the crazy things I've seen. I suppose this is part of my testimony, but that's not what I meant. We'll see if any of this makes sense in the edit. Subscribe so that next time I can have a bigger car and I can actually like run and jump into the window that I was planning on doing. And I need to find a park that is not nearly as populated as this. I wonder, do these people realize that I've like left this parking lot and come back 3 times now? Because my phone has gone nuclear. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. Hopefully I didn't turn any of y'all off this channel. Watch this be like the first video a random person watches on my channel and they like actually watch 100% of it and they're like, what the hell is this guy on about? What is he talking about? Let's go see if I can actually get a haircut.